Oh, hey guys, I am about to shoot the shit out of this heavy bag. Me and Kanan came out to the farm today. We're gonna shoot a 9mm, we're gonna shoot a 38 special, a 357, and a 44 mag into this bad boy, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the nuances of contact shooting. Put a recent little video clip up with our buddy Todd from Tour Protection, and as gun guys usually do, they fixated on stuff that they shouldn't. So we're gonna talk about must-haves for training. We got this heavy bag out here. We're gonna destroy it. We're gonna sacrifice it for you. And we're gonna talk about some of the things that you should never do in training with a pistol and some of the things that you should think about if you ever have to contact shoot. Hopefully you don't. Let's get after it. Oh, real quick, we gotta tell you that this video is brought to you guys by none other than Gunfighter Gun Oil, which makes the best gun lube, the best gun cleaner, and the best gun grease on the market. Now back to our video. So in this training community, this weird training world, by the way, completely inert, cert gun, not a gun training tool, we do a lot of stuff that we see, we mimic it, right? Monkey see, monkey do. Gonna shoot, high pectoral index, protect the neck, but we're not thinking about the complete context of what we're doing. That's why I brought the heavy bag out here. Rubber dummy works good, but I wanted to be able to not have anything metal like the rubber dummy base because of what I'm gonna be doing with this. Real simple. If this is a human, bullets are gonna go through this, and as you can see, which is why I'm doing it with this, wherever your hand or body is on the other side, that could be bad. As we start to think about mimicking, and I'm not backtrack here, these videos are always meant to induce thought. We want you guys to go out and seek real training so that you're getting it firsthand from somebody that knows. Don't just watch a video and try to do something. Think about this like you wouldn't try to learn to fly an airplane by watching a vid, right? This is just as serious. People die and hurt themselves all the time in training, and this is about as serious as it gets, this contact shooting with these guns. But if you think about the context of a high pectoral index, right, and the body posture you see people doing on the range, there's a reason for it. The body is now away from the impact zone, the body, my body, the shooter's body, and I'm making space. I'm framing off of this would-be bad guy. There are still so many opportunities to hurt yourself. It doesn't take much, especially because we got to remember whoever it is we're shooting is requiring lethal force. That person or persons probably isn't just going to stand there and take it. It's pretty easy to have a limb or a gun shoved into you. But in context, in the context of what we were talking about as we began the video, was what happens when we contact shoot. So, of course, our gun needs to be in battery. So this gun is loaded, slide is locked forward, the gun is in battery. It is ready to go. But if I apply any kind of pressure to open this slide up, everybody got eyes and ears on? We're good? If I open this slide up just with this forward pressure and I try to shoot, as you'll notice, nothing's happening. You see that? We'll get it with the lefty here. So just the weight of that heavy bag coming into us and the gun's out of battery. That's not a feature. That's just the way a semi-automatic pistol's designed. Guys look at this and they're like, whoa, that's dumb. Well, that's what happens when you take a semi-automatic that's got a reciprocating slide. There's ways around that though. So in a recent video, folks saw some images and they said, well, that wouldn't work if it was a real gun. Well, first of all, don't watch a video clip and think all of a sudden that you know everything about the person in the video clip or can deduce everything about what's happening. There was a short video sequence and you'll have to go watch the whole series to get more out of that. But let's think about this. This is one of those nuances where the shooter needs to know their weapon. So if I feel that slide come out of battery, I really quite simply need to pull that gun back and I can shoot. Ooh, Kanan jumped behind that camera. I need to make distance, right? Pretty easy. So one would say, under stress or duress, how will you know to do that? Well, here's the clue, mofos. Check it out. Gun's not working? Make a little space. If I pull the trigger and nothing happens, make some space. Now, in doing this, that got Kanan to jump pretty good. Are we getting full penetration? Yeah, of course we are. So these are running all the way through. I didn't think they wouldn't, but Not a lot of the heavy bag. Actually, are they going through? I don't know if they are or they aren't. We'll have to check it out here in greater detail. What we got to think about is where our body's going to be. So if I was up against this person, right? I'm wrapped up, possibly. I'm framed against them. Where's my feet? This is not something to screw around with. It is so easy to hurt yourself. So if I was tied into this person or this being, I'm going to pull this gun back, and now look at my pistol. See that? Just this commotion locked that gun out of battery. I may need to thumb check the slide. You see that? So I can thumb check this slide. Also, not something to screw around with if you don't have good, strong hands or have done this, but I can thumb check this slide, driving that gun into battery. Now that gun went off, but what will happen when I pull the trigger again? Nothing, because the gun didn't cycle. Tap rack, and I can do what needs doing. Super simple stuff, but if we're not thinking about the basic mechanics of how a gun works and instead we just flippantly comment online, we're not training, we're not getting better. Of course, if a gun's out of battery, it's not going to fire. You need to understand how your weapon works. If I needed to, if I can't make space, I can block here. Gonna only get one shot though, tap rack, gun's out, and I'm gonna go through my reload. Hopefully I would have had more on me than that. So we tried it with a SIG, super simple stuff. I've got a Glock 19. Let's grab that and we'll try with that. Glock 19. So as we progress through this, food for thought, a couple of people said, well, why not just use a weapon mounted light? That's perfect. If I have a weapon mounted light on here, just for those of you that aren't familiar, that's going to mount onto the rail underneath a pistol. It's going to give me a standoff where my gun is going to be held off of a surface. I think that's a great option. I think it's something that you definitely could do, except I'm not going to have a weapon mounted light on something like a little gun like this. Oh wait, Mick, that's a revolver, right? Oh, completely different animal. And if you just saw how that worked, that did the job, and I had no issue with standoff, no issue with anything other than point and shoot. But revolvers, that's ancient technology. I love revolvers. Back to the Glock. The reason I don't want to fixate on a weapon mounted light as a standoff is there are still plenty of things that can take a gun out of battery, especially if you're in close proximity to a person. It's not an end-all be-all. It's a way that will maybe take away some of those problems, but not all of them. So you still need to be aware of where your muzzle is in time and space and still have a rapid way to get that gun up and running. So that high pec index, right? This gun is up against me. This slide is going to reciprocate into this hollow space. I can frame off of this bad guy. I'm framing. I know where my body is. I know where my pelvis is. I'm canting myself backwards. And I can light this dude up, right? If I am moving and grooving, oh shit. And this again becomes something as simplistic as you putting the time in with the gun to understand what that slide is doing. Out of battery, in battery, out of battery, in battery. So when we get these comical comments about the gun won't work, no shit. It's gonna make some space and we're gonna let it work. You dig? Super simple shit. You follow? It's not hard. And why we're going through this and why I'm being kind of dicky-micky about it is we waste a lot of time talking about stuff we don't need to. What we need to fixate on is how your gun works. And to say something like put a weapon mounted light on it, it's not the best solution for everything. Part of the reason that these little guns are so great is because they don't have a weapon mounted light on them. They don't have a bunch of big stuff. Yes, there are small lights. Yes, there are things that you can do to get smaller, more diminutive stuff, but that doesn't solve all the problems. Same thing. I got nothing, right? I got nothing. And again, guys, this is so dangerous to do without having a real ingrained concept of where that muzzle is in time and space and where your body is. This could be your intestines or your guts. Now, I say we up it here caliber-wise. Let's do that. Let's up the caliber. It's cool, man. What's old is new. You guys know I'm a Beretta guy. I shoot Langdon Berettas. Love them. And years ago, people were like, why do you shoot those? They're stupid. Now I get a message every freaking day. How do I get one of those Berettas? They're so awesome. Old technology, good technology. If this is my favorite gun, a 357 Smith & Wesson. This is the 686 Combat Plus. It's a 7-shot 357. I love this gun. You can take a deer-sized animal if you needed to with proper loads. You could stop bad guys. It's a well-built, easy shooting gun. So contact shooting with the Revolver, right? We don't have this problem. That works pretty good. And I think we might have had a dead one in there that we just pressed through and kept going. Old target ammo I had in the shop. The thing about the Revolver is we don't have those contact shooting issues. So there's a trade-off when we purchase stuff. I gotta dig this guy out one more time. You know, guys say, oh, well, these guns are only good at close up. Well, if that's the case, and did we form a malfunction? It was 1, 2, 3. I think we did. We created a malfunction by me sinking this into the body. That was it. That was it. But it's still required, so I drilled this into this bag being, right? I drilled this into the bag being here and needed to pull it out and keep going. I stopped to see what was happening, but the gun continued to work for us. I say we up it again. Let's get a bigger gun. 629 Smith & Wesson, 44 mag, solid copper hollow points. These are 180 grainers from Supervel, monolithic copper. I think these babies are doing like 1550, 1600, something like that out of this barrel. Let's see how the bag takes it. Yeah. First of all, if I was on the receiving end of that, I wouldn't take it at all. Second of all, anybody that's like, oh, 44 Magnum, you barely hold it. Well, I just held it one-handed and shot it, you know. I think that we should make 44 Magnum great again. I think revolvers should come back. I think anybody catching that in the belly is going to really rethink life choices. That's what I think. Okay, takeaways from the video, guys. Takeaways from this video. Know and understand the action in your gun. Know and understand the action in your gun. Something that you can and should dry fire. Understand that these body postures, like a high pectoral index, where that thumb is flagging the pec, the gun is canted outboard so that slide can reciprocate into empty space, body posture canted forward, frame into the potential bad guy or bad guys, is there for a reason. You're not just mimicking some garbage on the range where you're, you know, leaning into something. No, I'm not going to shoot this steel. It's there because if you need to discharge your weapon this close, you want that slide to be able to reciprocate. You want space. You also want to know where that muzzle is in time and space so you don't shoot yourself. Because things like this will happen to you. The stuffing will come out of you. Don't drill this stuff without a proper depth and breadth of knowledge. Kanan and I now, I think, need to finish up by putting the hurtin' on Mr. Bag here. Let's do that. Keep going, keep going.